ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वाम् अनुसन्दधामि। भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। My namaskars to you all who are listening this talk on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We are beginning chapter number 14, Chaturdashodhyayah, Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. The name of this chapter is Gunatraya Vibhaga. So, Gunatraya means this threefold division of these gunas, Gunatraya Vibhaga. And yoga suggests that the path of spirituality through this knowledge, through this understanding of this division on the basis of gunas, Gunatraya Vibhaga. Now here opening verse, Shri Bhagavan says, Param bhuya pravakshami ज्ञानानाम ज्ञानमुत्तमम यज्ञात्वा मुनयः सर्वे param siddhim mitogataha. So here Bhagavan, so translation of this verse, that bhuya means again, pravakshami, I will say to you, jnananam jnanamuttamam and param. So it is knowledge, uttama knowledge, shrestha knowledge, shrestha jnana, uttama jnana, in among all knowledges, all branch of knowledges, jnananam jnanam uttamam, and it is of the para nature, param, it is of the higher nature. It pertains to spiritual life, it doesn't pertain to material life. Param, it is higher knowledge. And he says that, now in the second line, see this, Yajñatva munayah sarve param siddhimito gataha. That they have reached the perfection. That param siddhim, that means highest of the realization. They have gone, they have reached. By how? By knowing or having this knowledge. Yajñatva munayah. the rishis, the munis, who were contemplating, and through this knowledge, through acquiring this knowledge, they have reached this highest stages of perfection. Param siddhim ito gataha. Ito means itas, itaha. So after this, after having this knowledge, resulting into this. So this is now in 13th chapter what we were discussing. So I will just the whole 13th chapter or the later part of the 13th chapter, but I will refer the 19th and 23rd verse. In 19th verse, Bhagavan says, Prakrutim purusham chaiva vidhyanadi ubhavapi vikaranshcha gunashchaiva vidhi prakriti sambhavan. What does he say? He says that Prakriti and Purusha both are to be known. Ubhav api, both are to be known. Vidya, and know these things, they are anadi. Vidhyanadi, vidhi anadi, ubhav api, they know that these two things, Prakriti and Purusha, they are anadi. And Vikara and Gunas, Vikaranscha Gunaschaiva, know that they are born out of Prakriti. So Prakriti, and earlier in the 7th chapter, etc., we find this expression that Prakriti is Trigunatmika. So Prakriti is Gunas. This is to be understood. So how profound the Gunas are and how ingrained into Prakriti are. Here Gunas are born out of Prakriti, this expression is given. But you know that Gunas are so profound in Prakriti that everything of this universe, as soon as creation or the subsequent, this progression of one thing leading to other, that there is this primordial, what is a ignorance, that Mula Avidya. Why it is called as Avidya? Where from it does come? If the ultimate nature is the pure consciousness, and pure consciousness is all knowledge, where from the Avidya comes? That is wonderful. So, why it is called as Avidya? Because it is the Mula or the beginning of all creation. This creation cannot ensue without this ignorance, without this knowledge, without this confusion. Mula Avidya. So that is the Prakriti, it is called, or it is also referred as Mahat. In Sankhyan cosmology, this term comes Mahat. And from there, these two things emerge. They are called as one, the matter is called as Akasha, and other is called as energy, is called as Prana. Prana and Akasha. And now Prana goes on acting upon Akasha, and Akasha gives birth one by one to other 4 elements. These now 5 elements combined together, they intermix through the process of Panchikarna, and then Sthula Mahabhutas are formed. Akashad Vayu, Vayu Agnihi, Agni Rapa, Apa Pruthavi. So this is the process, Sankhyan say. Now, important thing is, now all this, from Pancha Mahabhutas, Sthula Pancha Mahabhutas, every other thing of this 27 elements of this Prakriti, from Pancha Mahabhuta, then Pancha Vishaya, Pancha Tanmatra, Panchendriya, Jnanandriya, Karmendriya, and Mana, Chitta, Buddhi, Ankara, etc. Do you get it? So, and this then, everything, therefore, whole creation ensues from there. Now, according to their nature, Now these gunas are prevalent as soon as the process of creation starts. When creation goes to cessation, that is absolute dissolution, so these gunas stop vibrating. Gunas are no more active. They as if form laya into Prakriti. And from Prakriti again, when that creation has to happen, these gunas start again functioning. They are as if vibrations into the matter into three different ways. One is too low, that is called as tamas. One is too high, it is called as rajas. And one is the perfect one, which is called as sattva. Hyper, hypo and normal. Sattva, rajas and tamas. So balance is always difficult. Sattva is always difficult. So these gunas, now Bhagavan says, gunas are born out of Prakriti, and in 23rd verse he said, Ya evam vetti purusham prakrutim cha gunay saha sarvatha vartamanopi nasa bhuyo bhijayate. That any person who knows Purusha along with Prakriti and gunas, then that person, even though living in this very world, within this very body, what will happen? He will attain perfection, that he will never be born again. Nasa bhuyo bhijayate. That means he attained liberation here in the body, not after death. Here in the body. So that is now how gunas. So this earlier 13th chapter, which was talking about this discrimination, this differentiation between the material and consciousness. Now I have said to you that earlier, though until 9th chapter, what we see, it was a more of a philosophical part, then somewhat the part of contemplation. From says 6, if we chapter we take, the 6 first philosophical, and then contemplation, Shravana, Manana, and then Nididhyasana. Or like 9 and 9 chapter we say, like that we can see that. So 9 chapter until philosophy, Jnana Kanda, and here it goes for more pragmatic and practical approach, how this knowledge is to put into action. This I had said. So here now, after discussing this differentiation between material and consciousness, now he is going deeper into it, how this material aspect, this Prakriti is to be understood. Now he goes to this guna vivechana. This discussion, this elaborate discussion of understanding of these gunas. How differently Prakriti behave, particular things behave. Under the influence of these particular gunas, what is to be understood, what is to be taken away, it will give you insight. It will give you depth in understanding of behavior of the matter as well as mind, because mind is also matter. So mind does not belong to the realm of spirit, it belongs to the realm of material, Prakriti. It belongs to the realm of Prakriti. Only pure consciousness, that is spiritual. So now this is to be understood. If we understand them well, what will happen? Then you will be able to understand yourself clearly and the motives, behavior of other persons equally well. What will happen? What will it lead to? Then it will help you to clear your confusion, bring clarity in thought, ideas, and therefore you will be able to take right decisions. That's why he is going for this after Prakriti and Purusha Vivechana, after the Kshetra and Kshetrajna Vibhaga, now he is going for the Gunatraya Vibhaga. So this I consider would be the link Why it prods Bhagavan to think in this way. So, in the second verse, it is said, Idam jnanam upashritya mama sadharmyam agataha sargepi nopajayante pralayena vyathanti cha. So, he said this knowledge is so powerful, it is so great thing that if you get this knowledge, upashritya means taken shelter to this knowledge, upashritya. This is the word is used. Taken recourse to this knowledge. What will happen? You will attain mama sadharmya. That you will attain to me, you will become like me, you will become the divine itself. Now, this is such a great promise. Bhagavan himself is saying, Mama sadharmyam agataha. If you get this clarity among the division and this functioning of these gunas, and now see, these other things are, somebody might underestimate it. That we will become like you means like Miss Krishna, Yadava, that you are charioteer, you are king, and you are doing so many good things, so we will become probably some good people, etc., etc. So somebody should not think in that way. So he again reiterates in the second line, he says, Sargepi nopajayante. That these people will not be born again. That means it is true liberation, it is not small thing. तुम्हारा वाईफाई ऑन है क्या? अच्छा ठीक है. सर्गेपि नोपजायन्ते. So, and not only that, he again uses one another phrase, that somebody may say that you will not be born again and this and that, you will be you will become the divine like God itself. What is the material benefit of it? What is the use of it as long as I am living? Is there any practical use, benefit of this knowledge while the person is living? So he says another thing, that pralayena vyathanti cha, that even if dissolution come, that person will not be troubled, he will not be pained by it. He will not come to any grief or sorrow. He will not have any vyatha, vedana. That it will not be able to inflict whatsoever happens in the world. He will reach such stage. In Gita, 6th chapter, 22nd verse is there. That is very wonderful verse. I like that verse very much. Bhagavan says there, he starts with yam labdhva cha param labham manyate nadhikam tatah yasmin sthito na dukkhe na guru napi vichalyate. This is that verse. Bhagavan says that see, that there is such stage, yam labdha, or there is some vastu, as if that getting which, acquiring which, you will not consider any other gain in these three worlds higher than that. Yam labdva cha aparam labham manyate na adhikam tatah. Nothing you will consider greater than that. Meaning that it is the greatest thing a human being can aspire, covet or possess. It is that great thing. And then in the second line he says, Yasmin sthito. In the first line he has referred to that as if it is some kind of a vastu, object. And in the second line he says, this refers to the same thing as an avastha, Yasmin sthito na dukkhena guru napi vichalyate. That being in that state of mind, you will not be shaken by the mountain like sorrow. Guru napi vichalyate dukkhena. So that is that thing. That is something to aspire for in your life. Whatever you might do, whatever you might attain, any wealth, any name, fame. So this is what is being explained here, or put it in this way, not explained, that he puts it, or this is called as eulogy. This has been very classical style in Indian literature, all of the literature, that any stotra somebody writes, so he writes eulogy at the end of it. Whosoever reads that stotra every day, and then he will have such and such kind of benefit, grace of God, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, this, that, everything. Santati, putra, prautradi, ityadi, ityadi. So this is the phalashruti or eulogy, they say. Here, even in that tone and somewhat seriously also, from both sides also, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, true to the tradition, he is uttering these verses and putting the context to gain the attention of Arjuna, that what I am going to tell you, what I am going to teach you, how important that is. Now he says him few things. In 2 verses, he makes something, he makes a statement. In next 3rd and 4th verse, he is saying something that which in a way refers to whole of the creation, whole of the universe. And also, so what is the nature of the creation? What is the nature of the universe? Who am I? What is the Prakriti? Again, this position is made clear. What does he say? Mama yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbham dadhamyaham sambhavah sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata. So he says, see, Arjuna, that he says, Mama yonir mahad brahma. Mama, that this word shows that I supersede to the Prakriti. I supersede to the Prakriti. He has earlier also, in the 4th chapter, Mama Prakriti, etc. expression he has used many times. That Prakriti is not independent of him, that he preside over it, that material does not exist apart from the divine, apart from the spirit. This is something very important, that it does not exist of its own. There is material which is to be discarded, and there is something spiritual. There is nothing. Even material has come from the spiritual only. It cannot exist other way. There are no multiple realities here. There is only one. Mama yonir mahad brahma. This mahad brahma, this Brahma, or this mahad which is referring to, this is first product of this creation. Where from this Prakriti is avichala. That is the more fundamental one. But from her, when this creation has to ensue, the first product is this mahad, this moola avidya. Because that is required. Without that, this creation will not ensue. This creation will not ensue. So, mama yonir mahad brahma, that tasmin garbham dadhamyaham. This mahat or this Prakriti, that is as if the great yoni, the birth giving organ, And Bhagavan says, I give this garbham, or I give dadhamyam, that I give, I dadhami, aham dadhami, garbham, that I give that germ, that seed. And thus sambhava, that is everything is born, sarva bhutanam, all beings are, everything of this creation what you see, it is coming out of that. So unless, and what is the meaning of this? Simple, here in the earlier 13 chapter, he has said this. Where is that verse? Not here, not in 13th chapter. Okay, so creation can only ensure if there is this Purusha and Prakriti can come together, meaning that only material cannot, that creation cannot ensure, that cannot proceed from only material. Unless there is consciousness, material cannot behave on its own. Prakriti cannot behave on its own. Only and only Garbham Dadhamyam, unless there is this Antaratma, Atma, the consciousness in that, like as if in our body. So this body and all everything materials comes to life when there is Atman, that consciousness. When it is not there, it will fall, drop dead. It will become insentient. So everything functions because that consciousness is there. That is the meaning of Garbham Dadhamyam. There is no other meaning. So taken, usual example is taken of generally how somebody is born. So in that way, so he is saying whole creation, Sarva Bhutanam Sambhava Tato Bhavati Bharata. In this way only, from Mahat only, all these Sarva Bhutas, means all elements, all beings, whole creation, they only proceeds from there. Without this Tato Garbham Dadhamyam, meaning of that is that consciousness is reflected in it and it comes to life. And thus he says, Sarva Yonishu Konteya, in whatsoever Yoni means whatsoever species, whatsoever Murtayah, all Murti, that is all forms, whatever are born, Sambhavanti, of meaning that Yoni means not only species you will see, but everything you consider. Like I suppose a chair, a material that in our Hindu Puranas, so like in Ramayana we heard, we see that legend of Ahilya. Okay, so she was given a curse. So she was living her life like a Shira, like a big stone, isn't it? So that is a human being and she is living like a, can you imagine these two things? How one being can go to another species, even that would be acceptable, all right. How do one being become like a stone? Insentient. So can Shira be called as a yoni or species? You can, for that matter. So whatsoever form, so whatever is born and taken form, Bhagavan says, Tasam Brahma Mahad Yoni, that this great Brahma, meaning this Mahad is the Yoni, this is the mother. This is the mother which is giving birth to them. From this Yoni, they have come. That is Brahman, that is the greatest, that Mahad, that is the greatest mother of everything, of all beings. And I am the Bija Pradapitaha. I am the father who gives that seed. Meaning of that, I am that is something that without that Bija, this nothing is going to happen. No being is going to come into existence. And that Bija being this consciousness, that in Chandogya Upanishad also, yes, Chandogya Upanishad, that he says that Paramatman enters into the body. Paramatman enters into the body as Atma and stays there like a Jiva. Without this, only lump of flesh cannot be a being. It is like any other, suppose, gangrene which is formed on your body. Okay, you cut and throw it away. It doesn't, it doesn't have any other life, or how much ever it grow, it doesn't become somebody, a person. It doesn't become. That lump of flesh and bones and those that fetus, it has soul, it has self. That's why it develops its own character. It develops its own character. It has a being. Even though in the womb of mother, still it is an individual separate being. And it shows upon the mother how mother, so they say, like as the child which is not born again, which is withhold in the womb, the way, so his mother, or that baby's mother, that child's mother, she will have desires in those days of pregnancy according to the nature of the child. Isn't that said? So that is said. So, and accordingly that child will, that mother will feel as per the character of that being which she withholds in her womb. Isn't that so? So, meaning that though it is yet to take birth, though it is still somewhat a part of the mother, but still it is itself a being, individual. It is not some lump of flesh growing on your person. It is not some lump of flesh. It is an individual. So, this is what Bhagavan is saying, that see, that everything whatsoever form, they are born in whatsoever nature, whatsoever way, sarva yonishu. Know that this Mahad is the great mother of all. Tasam Brahma Mahat Yoni Aham Bija Pradapita, that I exist in a seed form, in every form which is born. I am present everywhere. This is what he says. Now, this being said, now he goes upon this exploration of this guna and prakriti. So I am present everywhere and these gunas are functioning due to my presence. If this consciousness is not there, then these gunas will not function. This prakriti will not function. Then Bhagavan says here, Sattvam, in the next verse, this is the 5th verse. Sattvam rajastamaiti guna prakriti sambhavaha nibadhanti mahabaho dehe dehinam avyayam. He says, see, understand this, that these 3 gunas, Sattvam, Rajas and Tamas, iti means named this way, Sattvam, Rajas and Tamas. They are born out of Prakriti, Guna Prakriti Sambhavaha. And he says, he makes this important statement, understand this. Nibadhanti Mahabaho, He Mahabaho, O mighty armed one. Understand that these gunas squarely binds whom? Dehinam, the one who resides in the body, that Jiva. Do you understand that? How powerful they are now, that consciousness, that divine, which is come to reside within the body, Dehe. Here that word is used, Dehe. And the one who resides in the body, he is called as Dehina. So that Dehina, that Jiva, now it is bound. These gunas binds that Dehi in the Deha. That Jiva is bound by these gunas in the body. Due to their various ways of functioning, nature, due to gunas, all karma ensues. Due to karma, there is karma phala. And the Dehi, he is bound. He is bound, he is compelled, he is imprisoned there as if in the Deha to witness all the play of these gunas. Good, bad, bitter, sour, everything that will come, he will have to experience it. There is no other way. He is trapped. Nibadhanti. Very squarely they entangle him, trap him. He is bound, he is imprisoned. Who? The Dehi, the Jiva, the Atman, the consciousness. Meaning that due to this attachment of these gunas. Attachment to these gunas. So this earlier chapter, in the 13th chapter, he has referred again and again that you have to leave this. Then you can become free. This he has said. Like 21st verse is there. Purusha prakrutistho hi bhungte prakrutijan gunan karanam gunasangosya sadasadyoni janmasu. He says, Purusha prakrutistho. Prakriti, what is Prakriti? This Deha is Prakriti. That Purusha being in the Prakriti, what does he do? Bhungte prakrutijan gunan. The gunas which are born out of Prakriti, he has what does he do? He bhungte, he has to enjoy and suffer the play of these gunas. Prakrutijan gunan, what? All kinds of what the gunas will make you do all karma, that you will have to witness. And he says, Karanam gunasangosya. This gunasanga is the karana. That attachment to these gunas is the karana, which is results into sadasad yoni janmasu. That sat and asat yoni. That good and bad birth you get, and the suffering and enjoyment, this is all result of this gunasanga, your attachment. You are too captivated, too lured into watching this show. You are bewildered, dazzled due to this magic these gunas are playing. So, this is what it was said in the 13th chapter in the 21st verse. Now he says, now see, due to this reason only you become bound, you are trapped here. So this is to be understood. Meaning that what is the implication? What is the takeaway? takeaway is this, that you will have to refrain, retrieve back from this. Unless you leave this, your temptation, this infatuation, this engrossment with the gunas, there is no hope. You cannot become free. And now, how does these gunas binds a jiva, a dehi, in this very body, this embodied soul? How does it binds him to the body? He says how these gunas play, what are their nature, how do they function. So one by one he is taking. He said, see, look. Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat prakashakam anamayam. So he says, among these three, there is sattva, which is nirmalatvat. It does not have mala, that it does not have any fault. So that's how pure it is. That purity, that is its nature, nirmalatvat. So it is prakashakam, that it will light up everything. That is the virtue of this sattva guna. That's why it might be very adorable, you can become very much attracted to it, towards it, because you are pure. Suppose any pure soul is there, he will too much carried away or attracted towards something which is equally good. Equally good. Nirmalatvat prakashakam anamayam, that it is amayam, there is no amayam. Anamayam. Meaning that there is no evil. There is no evil, there is no fault, there is no kilbisha into it. This is what sattva is like, that is its nature. Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat prakashakam anamayam. But out of these virtues also, it has also some fault along with it, because they are gunas. They have some pros, they have some cons. So listen to the other side also. What does it do? Sukha sangena badhnati, that person, due to the predominance or prevalence of that sattva guna, what will happen? That person will be excessively obsessed or attached with the sukhas, comforts. That person might get attached to the comfort. Sukhe sangena badhnati. And jnana sangena chanagha. Jnana sangena, so you will have attachment to knowledge and you will have attachment to this sukha, comfort, etc. What will happen if somebody is very attached to sukha? That he will not generally face something which is sour, bitter, which is uncomfortable. Can you live your life without that? If you do not do, what will happen? Evil will spread. So sattvic person will not be able to fight this. Too much sattva, and he does not have this capacity to fight the evil. This is the drawback, the dark side of the sattva. Sukha sangena badhnati. He will look for the comfort. Sukha, easier one. He will not like to take the hard one, any path, uncomfortable one. Sukha sangena badhnati. And jnana sangena chanaga. What is the evil in the jnana sangha? Jnana sangha must be a very nice thing, a great thing. What is problem with it? It is the other extreme. Pursuing knowledge is one thing, and getting only obsessed in the knowledge and not going to action, that is another evil. You are only talks and no walk. No karma, no action. You are only obsessed with the knowledge. And when are you going to act? Jnana sangena. So it will destroy that individual with these Sattva. So Sri Ramakrishna told the story of three robbers. In which he refers, in the story, refers these three guna like three robbers. And the pilgrim is the jiva. So even sattva is a robber. He also cannot go to the last mile, but he saves that individual from others who were about to kill him or going to thrash him. So sattva is kind enough, but even it is binding, it is not liberating. So this is the great idea we must borrow. One day, you know what happened? So we ourselves, I said to one Swami who was senior to me, and I said to him that, see, can you show me one verse in Bhagavad Gita where Bhagavad Gita says, directly gives command to become sattvika. To become sattvika. In fact, there is no such verse in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita does not ask you to become sattvic. Great surprise. If I put into this word, most of the Hindu Samaj will go against me. That what kind of nonsense you are speaking? I said, yes. Bhagavad Gita does not say anywhere to become sattvic, because that is not the goal. Becoming sattvic is not the goal of life. Because sattva is again a guna, it is binding, it is not liberating. You can take the help of it, it is very useful, that is alright, but so also is rajas and so also is tamas. They are all to be exploited for their strengths and not to fall prey to any one of them, including sattva. That is the message. So becoming obsessed with becoming sattvic, it is again a foolishness. That is not the point. Point is, every person is not wholly sattvic, not wholly rajasic or tamasic. At different types, different moods, and according to the different states of his mind, he is one way or other. There is a prevalence of one guna over other. Generally, a person can be in general way tamasic, rajasic, sattvic. Even that is all right. But this is not some permanent statement and category. Every person with their effort, he can become sattvic, and whenever it is necessary, he must be able to become a rajasic or even tamasic. If you do not have tamas, you will not be able to sleep, because that is the function of tamas. You will not be able to work, because that is the function of rajas. You will not be able to understand anything, because that is the function of sattva. So there is no person who only works and doesn't understand anything, or only understand anything and he doesn't sleep. No, all three gunas are required. The great person is when he is able to command these gunas themselves, when he can supersede these gunas or channelize these gunas to that one goal, that is going beyond the gunas. That is the goal. Not becoming sattvic. Many of the people, they are so obsessed with this idea to become sattvic. You can become sattvic as much as you want. There is no problem. But not understanding the idea itself is the lakshana of tamas. When you are foolishly pursuing something, that means that this is the influence of the tamas. In tamas, what happens? You have the full confidence, 200% confidence. When you exactly understand the thing 180-degree opposite, and you have 200% confidence. That is the lakshana of tamas. You consider black as absolute white, and you don't want to listen to anyone who is trying to tell you that it is not white, it is black. You don't want to believe it even. Don't want to consider it even. That is the lakshana of tamas. Viparita jnana. That will happen. In sattva, you have the knowledge. If there would have been real sattva, you would have understood. So this is not how this is to be cooked and eaten. So this is to be understood very well. So understanding of this gunatraya vibhaga, what it will give us? It will give us how gunas behave, and therefore give us that insight into behavior of the human mind. And thus, when I will be able to consider myself very well, then I will be able to take my decisions correctly. What will happen due to that? I will attain this fulfillment, this contentment, this peace. And it is not that kind of peace which is earned without fighting, without running away. The peace after doing everything, which is the peace which is earned by doing everything correctly. That is the fulfillment which causes you growth, a positive contribution, and you are totally satisfied with the way you have spent your resources and engaged your challenges. That is the correct peace, which comes after discharging your responsibilities well. So, that's why these gunas are to be understood. So, second verse, he says, the next guna, Rajaguna. So, he says about So next verse says, Rajo ragatmakam vidhi trushna sanga samudbhavam tanyibadhnati kaunteya karma sangena dehinam. Now see the nature of Rajaguna. Rajaguna ragatmakam, that this attachment and attraction, this is his nature. Raga. Raga means attraction. Raga, where your mind absorbs and you are moved by action. Ra and ga. Ga, gamiti. Ra, ramati. ये ramati और gamati हो गया. Gamati means going. Ramati means where you absorb your mind. So you are like and you are taken by these desires whatsoever, they are pleasureful. Raga. And you are motivated by that. Ragatmakam. So this person, he looks for the comfort. This fellow looks for the pleasure. For pleasure, he is ready to go into any action. But this fellow, rather, he will avoid any action. He can fast if he doesn't have to do any action. Rajo ragatmakam trushna sanga samudbhavam. What it will generate to, what will it will give rise to? This thirst. It will give rise to thirst. This desires for so many things of the world. And attachment. Trushna sanga samudbhavam. And this, in this way, it will, that rajas will create the desires and attachment, and this pleasure hunting. What will it will result to? Tan nibadhati kaunteya. And in this way, for these things, he will have to engage into some course of action. And in this way, that fellow will be tied up by doing some action. Karma sangena badhnati. Tan nibadhnati kaunteya karma sangena dehinam. So it will bind you to this body of that dehi, that embodied soul, that jiva. It will bind that jiva to this body, to this world, through this karma. It will bind, because you are driven by pleasures. It gives rise to more and more desires. They are never quenched, and your attachments, one thing or other, and your attachment also to this course of action. You want to do it. You want to do it. You cannot leave it. You are retired, don't do. No, he cannot keep quiet. He cannot keep quiet. He must do something. Without doing that, he feels that as if he does not exist, he will go to ruin and destruction. He must do something. That this is driving him crazy. He is like entrapped, a slave, bound slave to this world through the influence of this Rajoguna. So these gunas, point to be noted is that there is not only one guna, or some person is sattvic only, he is not rajasic. So he would be bound by all three gunas in different three ways. And they, when all three come to play, they can be, of such a chaotic concoction they will create. That person, because we are considering one guna individually, separately, but they do not act separately. They act in tandem. So the scenario they generate, we cannot even imagine. When they go haywire, forget about it. Only Bhagwan can save that soul. So this is, now we are understanding this chapter of Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, the 7th verse. From 8th verse, now next Sunday on 22nd, there will not be class due to the residential youth camp which is happening here. And on 29th, we can have class. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.